Have you ever walked into a room and felt all eyes land on you, like gravity shifted in your direction? Do strangers lock eyes with you in public, at the store, on the street, in a waiting room, and you wonder, why are they staring at me? It's not your clothes, it's not something on your face. It's something deeper, something they can't name, but you feel it, you know it. Chosen one, this message has found you at the perfect moment. You didn't stumble here by accident. This is divine alignment. What I'm about to reveal will shift how you see yourself and how you understand the world's reaction to you, because when you are chosen, when your spirit carries a higher frequency, the world notices. Whether people know it or not, they feel your energy. Some are drawn to it, others are disturbed by it, but they all react. And one of the most common reactions, they stare. This isn't just random. This isn't coincidence. There is a spiritual reason why strangers keep staring at you. And in this video, I'm going to break it all down, spiritually, energetically, and even psychologically. You're going to finally understand what you've been sensing all along. You are different. You are seen. And you are chosen. Drop a 777 or 333 in the comments if you've ever felt this shift in a room the moment you walk in. Let your fellow chosen ones know you're here. This is your tribe. Subscribe now and tap the bell icon, because this is only the beginning. Share this message with another chosen one, someone else who needs to hear the truth. They're out there waiting. And this message may be the very thing that wakes them up. Understanding the chosen one. Energy. Chosen one, before we dive into why strangers can't stop staring at you, we must first understand what you carry, because this isn't just about being different. It's not about popularity, looks, or even talent. It's deeper than that. It's energetic. It's spiritual. You were marked long before you entered this physical world. Your energy didn't just come alive when you were born. It was already powerful in the unseen realm. And now, that same energy radiates through you wherever you go. People can't always explain it. They just feel something when you walk in. The air shifts. The atmosphere changes. You bring an energy that demands awareness, even in silence. You don't have to say a word, and yet your presence speaks volumes. Why? Because your spirit is ancient. You've walked through lifetimes of growth, pain, spiritual awakening, and divine refinement. Your soul has carried wisdom through timelines, and even if your mind doesn't remember all of it, your energy does. Your aura holds light. And light, chosen one, can never enter a room without being noticed. Now, here's what most people don't realize. The world is filled with people who are spiritually asleep. They walk around disconnected from their soul, numb to the presence of the divine. But when someone like you shows up, someone whose light is on, it disturbs the norm. Your very existence challenges their unconscious state. And so they stare, not because they consciously know why, but because their spirit is reacting to yours. Your energy is not average. You've probably noticed that people often open up to you without knowing why. They tell you secrets. They ask you for advice. They feel drawn to you. That's not coincidence. That's because your aura carries healing frequency. You don't just exist, you emit. You emit truth, clarity, presence, and divine authority. That's why, even when you feel unsure of yourself, others look at you like you hold answers. It's because you do. Even when you're quiet, your energy speaks loudly. And let's talk about presence. Your presence is not just physical, it's spiritual weight. It's the way you carry yourself even in stillness. You don't shrink. You don't try to hide. Even when you attempt to blend in, you somehow still stand out. That's not something you chose. It's something you were born with. Your light is encoded in your DNA. You've been marked by the Creator to walk a path that's different from the masses. A path that carries influence, revelation, and divine power. Most people chase attention. They dress to be seen. They speak to be noticed. But you exist to be felt. That's the difference. You don't have to chase attention because your soul already commands it. Your energy speaks before your body does, before your voice is heard. Your vibration is already being read by everyone around you, consciously or not. This is why you've probably felt out of place in many environments, like you don't fit in even when you try. That's because you were never made to blend. You were made to stand apart, to disturb systems, to awaken people's consciousness just by being who you are. And that energy, that chosen frequency, is rare. When something rare enters the room, it always draws attention. Let's also touch on something important: spiritual favor. The chosen ones are often anointed in ways that can't be explained. Doors open for you that others fight for. People may be envious of you and not even understand why. They just feel something about you that they don't have, and that can turn into silent admiration or silent resentment. Both will come with stares. Some people stare because they love your energy. Others stare because your presence exposes their insecurities. Either way, don't take it personal. Take it as confirmation. You are not just walking around as a person. You are a spiritual signal, a walking activation, a divine mirror. When people see you, they don't just see your face. They see what they could be, what they fear, or what they've been missing. You activate thoughts in people's minds without speaking. You provoke self-reflection in others without even knowing it. That's how powerful your presence is. That's why they can't look away. Even children and animals often respond strongly to chosen ones. A baby might stare at you in fascination or begin smiling uncontrollably. A dog may act protective or become extremely calm in your presence. That's because spiritual energy is pure, and those who are still close to the spirit realm, like children and animals, can sense the purity of your soul clearly. You're not invisible in the spirit realm. You shine, you radiate, and you might not always feel radiant. You've had your share of pain. You've walked through fires. You've been misunderstood, isolated, rejected, and underestimated, but all of that wasn't punishment. It was preparation. The pressure created the glow, and now your spirit carries the evidence of survival, strength, and supernatural wisdom. That's what people are really staring at. It's not about your hairstyle. It's not about your clothes. It's about what you've been through and become, and how that energy now radiates from you like a silent alarm to the world. So don't let the stares confuse you. They're not just about curiosity. They're a spiritual reaction to your spiritual power. The stares are proof that your energy is loud, even when your voice is soft. You were never meant to be unseen. You are a chosen one. And now that you understand your energy, everything else is going to make perfect sense. The spiritual reasons strangers stare at you. Now that you understand the kind of energy you carry as a chosen one, we need to go even deeper into the spiritual reasons why strangers stare at you. This goes beyond personality or appearance. It's not about being attractive or looking different. No, this is about the unseen realm. It's about the vibrations, the frequencies, the divine codes that live in your spirit and radiate from you without you even trying. Let's start with the most important truth. Your light exposes darkness. That's right. You walk into a room and things shift, not because of what you say, but because of what your spirit does. Your presence carries spiritual fire. And when that fire enters a space filled with spiritual coldness, it disrupts. People feel uncomfortable. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because their spirit senses something pure, something real, something awakened, and it confronts everything in them that's been asleep, numb, or broken. You see, most people live in spiritual darkness. Not evil necessarily, but unconsciousness. They're disconnected from who they truly are. But when someone walks in who carries consciousness, divine awareness, and alignment, it stirs the atmosphere. It shakes the spiritual sleep out of people, and that's what you do. Just by being, you stir souls. That's why they stare. That's why some people freeze up or act strangely around you. Their spirit is reacting, and not every spirit is comfortable in the presence of light. Some people are carrying hidden pain, hidden shame, hidden bitterness. And when they look at you, your energy is like a mirror. You reflect back to them what they're trying to avoid. That's why some stares feel cold. That's why certain people look at you like they've seen a ghost, because your presence has exposed what they thought was buried. But that's not the only reason people stare. Some stare because your spirit reminds them of something. There's a spiritual familiarity in you that many don't understand. They may not remember you with their mind, but their spirit remembers. Their soul remembers crossing paths with you, perhaps in another lifetime, another realm, or a spiritual dream. And now, in the physical world, they meet you again, and it triggers something. That stare isn't confusion, it's spiritual memory surfacing. It's the soul trying to remember what the mind has forgotten. Chosen ones often carry reincarnated energy. You've been here before. You've walked through different lifetimes. You've fought spiritual battles, and your aura carries that memory, that warrior's imprint. People don't realize it, but they can feel that. That's why the elderly sometimes look at you and just nod, or why strangers say things like, "You have an old soul," or "You seem so familiar." That's spiritual memory, not coincidence. And then there's the angelic presence. Chosen ones are often protected by higher beings, angels, ancestors, divine guides. You are not walking alone. Even when you feel isolated, even when no one understands you, you're spiritually surrounded. And those with open spiritual senses can feel it. Some people stare at you because they're sensing something beyond you. They're feeling the presence of divine guardians walking with you. They might not see wings or hear voices, but they feel something unusual. Your aura doesn't just carry your energy, it carries the backing of heaven. Some stares come from the spirit of envy. Let's not pretend otherwise. When you are chosen, when you're walking in authenticity and purpose, you will always stir up envy in those who are not. There are people walking around with wounded egos, competitive spirits, and jealousy rooted deep inside. And when they look at you, they see someone who doesn't even try, yet radiates effortlessly. That's when the envious stares come. They look at you and wonder, why does that person get attention? Why do they stand out without even speaking? But what they don't know is what you've been through to carry that energy. People stare because your energy doesn't beg, it commands. Not from a place of arrogance, but from alignment. And people who are out of alignment will always react to someone who is in it. You become a walking reminder of the truth they've been avoiding. That's why your presence is uncomfortable for some. It's not personal, it's spiritual. There's another reason too. One many chosen ones overlook. When you were chosen, you were marked, spiritually marked. Your destiny was written into your energetic field. It's not just something you know, it's something others sense. That mark cannot be erased. It's like a beacon. Even the spirits of others can recognize it. That's why sometimes people are drawn to you without knowing why. You're a magnet, not for attention, but for destiny. And that magnet pulls on people's subconscious mind, waking up thoughts and feelings they didn't know they had. This is why certain people just sit and watch you. They don't even realize they're staring. Their soul is searching yours. They're trying to figure out what makes you different, why you feel powerful without saying a word, why you seem at peace while the world is in chaos. They stare because your stillness speaks, because your presence demands respect, because your energy tells the truth even when you're silent. And here's something else to remember. The higher your vibration, the more visible you are in the spiritual realm. You might think you're walking into a room like everyone else, but spiritually, it's like a spotlight just turned on. You are seen by more than human eyes. You are seen by spirits, by energy fields, by subconscious minds. And not all of them are friendly. This is why spiritual protection is so important. You need to guard your energy, pray over your space, and command your light. You don't just carry light, you represent it. And because of that, you will always be stared at. The world is desperate for authenticity, desperate for truth, desperate for reminders of the divine, and you, chosen one, are that reminder. You are a living, breathing representation of what's possible when someone aligns with purpose, truth, and divinity. This is why you must never shrink. Don't downplay your power just because others don't understand it. Let them stare. Let them wonder. Let them be confused, inspired, triggered, or awakened. That's not your burden. Your only task is to keep walking in your truth. Keep showing up. Keep radiating. Because whether they admit it or not, whether they love you or hate you, they feel you. And they will never forget the moment your spirit entered the room. Chosen one, this is what it means to be marked, to be remembered, to be recognized by the unseen. So, the next time someone stares at you, don't flinch, don't question, just smile. Because their spirit just saw something real, and in a world full of fakes, that alone makes you unforgettable. The psychological and physical reasons behind the stares. Chosen one, now that we've covered the spiritual reasons behind why strangers stare at you, let's bring things down to the physical plane for a moment. Because while your energy and light are felt deeply in the spiritual realm, those vibrations also show up in visible, psychological, and even physical ways. Your aura speaks before you do, yes, but so does your body, your mindset, and the way you carry yourself. Let's begin with the way you hold yourself. Most people walk around in survival mode, eyes down, shoulders slumped, avoiding attention. But you? Even when you're not trying, you move differently. There's a calmness to your presence, a stillness that radiates strength. You may not even be aware of it, but your posture, your eye contact, your silence, it all sends a message of confidence, a message of power, and psychologically, that's rare. In today's world, where so many people are stuck in anxiety and insecurity, someone who walks in calm and grounded energy stands out immediately. It draws attention. People stare because your stillness makes them feel seen. Your peace makes them question their own chaos. Without saying a word, you become a mirror to their inner world. And humans are naturally drawn to what they don't understand or can't fully explain. Your presence also speaks of authenticity. And in a society obsessed with trends, filters, and fakeness, someone who is simply real becomes magnetic. You don't need to perform or pretend. You don't need validation. And that psychologically disarms people. Most individuals walk around looking for approval, but you walk around already knowing who you are. That difference creates curiosity. People stare because they're trying to figure out what you know that they don't. They're trying to decode the secret confidence in your eyes, the unshaken energy in your steps. There's something else. Your ability to maintain eye contact. You may have noticed this. Most people avoid eye contact. They look away quickly. But you You meet their gaze, not to challenge them, but because your soul is awake. And when your eyes are open like that, when your soul is looking out through them, it unsettles people. It makes them feel seen. Eye contact from a chosen one is not casual. It's penetrating. It doesn't just look at people. It looks into them. And they feel that. They don't always understand what they're feeling, but it makes them pause, stare, or even become speechless. Let's also talk about the subconscious. Whether people know it or not, the subconscious is always scanning for something different, something outside the normal, and chosen ones give off a frequency that breaks patterns. You walk into a room and suddenly, the normal vibration is interrupted. Your energy is calm, but it doesn't blend. The subconscious mind of others picks up on that before they're even aware of it. They start staring, sometimes without realizing why. They just feel pulled. That's psychology at work, but powered by spiritual essence. And yes, your physical appearance may play a role too. Now, I'm not talking about beauty in the shallow, worldly sense. I'm talking about a spiritual attractiveness that radiates through your physical body. There's something about your eyes. They carry intensity and softness at the same time. There's something about your face. It might be symmetrical, unique, or just memorable. You may have been told that your energy is hard to forget. That's not about makeup or muscles. That's about soul print. Even your voice may have a unique tone or rhythm that sticks in people's minds. When you speak, you may speak with depth or intentional pauses. You might not say much, but when you do, people listen, because your words carry weight. And again, this draws attention. Let's go deeper into human psychology. People stare when they feel challenged or deeply intrigued, and chosen ones naturally bring both. Your presence challenges people's sense of normal. It challenges their comfort zones. At the same time, it invites curiosity. You feel like a mystery, not in a way that hides something, but in a way that holds something. People sense you carry a deeper truth, a hidden fire, an untold story. And human nature is drawn to mystery. We're wired to seek out what we don't fully understand. That's why they stare. And sometimes, it's not about anything you've done. It's simply because you don't chase. Your detachment from the world's noise is powerful. You're not trying to impress. You're not trying to be seen. And in a world where everyone is screaming for attention, the one who's silent becomes the loudest. You're not desperate for followers or praise, and that makes people follow and praise you anyway, often in silence, through stares, through quiet admiration. Now, let's talk about projection. This is big. Many people project their internal world onto others. When someone looks at you, they may be seeing their own desires, fears, wounds, or fantasies reflected back. You might remind them of someone from their past or someone they wanted to become. Your strength may remind them of the power they gave away. Your light might trigger their own sense of spiritual lack. And they project that onto you, staring, sometimes judging, sometimes admiring, and often confused. They may not even realize they're doing it. But projection is real. People don't see you as you are, they see you as they are. And when your presence activates something buried in them, the natural reaction is to stop and look. Whether that look is loving, curious, judgmental, or intense, it all comes from something within them, not you. Chosen one, you are a physical vessel carrying a spiritual signature, and that signature cannot be faked or copied. It's why you've always felt watched, even in silence. It's why you've always been misunderstood by some and admired by others. You've been radiating power since the day you arrived. Even before you understood it, others felt it. And that's not going to stop. So the next time someone locks eyes with you, freezes in your presence, or watches you from a distance with no explanation, Remember, it's not just about how you look, it's about who you are. Spiritually, psychologically, physically, you are aligned in ways that others are still trying to figure out. You are a presence in a world full of absence. You are grounded while others are floating. You are real in a sea of illusions. And that, chosen one, is always going to attract eyes, even when you're not looking for them. Different types of stares and their meaning, chosen. 1. Now that you understand the spiritual and psychological reasons behind the stares you constantly receive, it's time to decode something even more subtle, the types of stares themselves. Not every stare is the same. Some carry awe, some carry envy, some carry confusion, and others carry memory. When you're spiritually aware, you begin to notice that people aren't just looking at you, they're reacting to something they don't fully understand. Their eyes reveal it all, and if you're sharp enough, you'll start to recognize what each stare really means. Let's begin with the curious stare. This is the one you've probably experienced the most. You walk into a room, and someone just looks up and keeps watching. Not in a threatening or intense way, but more like they're studying you. These people are trying to place you. They don't know why they feel drawn to you, but something about your energy doesn't fit the environment. You look familiar to their spirit, but not to their mind. You're triggering a part of them they haven't accessed before. They might not say anything, but they'll keep glancing back at you. It's like they're trying to read a message your aura is silently sending. That stare is your confirmation. Your light has reached them. Then there's the intimidated stare. This one is heavy. It usually comes with a subtle look of discomfort or guardedness. Some people look at you and quickly look away, then glance back again. They sense your strength. They feel your authority. But because they're not secure within themselves, your energy makes them shrink a little. They don't know how to hold their space in front of someone like you. Your presence feels too real, too raw, and it forces them to confront their own insecurities. So they stare, but it's with unease. That discomfort is not your fault. It's your vibration showing them who they're not ready to be yet. Now let's talk about the envious stare. This one is usually sharp, short, and full of subtle judgment. It might come with a smirk, a frown, or an eye roll. These are the people who look at you and feel something rise inside them, but instead of admiration, it turns into resentment. Your confidence, your silence, your ability to walk in your truth, these things trigger them. They don't understand how you move without needing attention, and that confuses them. Deep down, they may wish they had what you have, but since they don't, they choose silent comparison. Their stare is cold because it's rooted in competition you never signed up for. Stay gracious, but guarded. Envy doesn't always speak out loud, but it always shows in the eyes. One of the most profound stares is the recognizing stare. You'll know this one when you see it. Someone looks at you with wide eyes, not of fear, but of recognition. It's as if their spirit just remembered yours. It may happen in passing. A stranger who locks eyes with you and looks like they've just seen a friend from another lifetime. It might even bring tears to their eyes, or yours. That's not just a coincidence. That's a soul-level recognition. In some cases, these are people you've shared past life connections with. In others, they're people whose journey will eventually align with yours. That stare isn't random. It's destiny sending a signal through the human experience. Take note of those. They're rare, but sacred. Another stare that often goes unnoticed is the spiritually triggered stare. This one comes when your energy disturbs something within another person. You may notice someone looking at you with confusion, discomfort, or even hostility, and they don't even know you. That's not personal. That's spiritual tension. When light walks into a room, darkness becomes restless. When truth enters a space, lies start to feel exposed. Some people carry energies, consciously or unconsciously, that are not aligned with light. And when they see you, that clash is felt deeply. Their spirit starts to panic because it senses your power. That stare may look intense, but behind it is fear, not strength. There's also the longing stare. This one comes from people who see something in you that they desire, not in a romantic sense, but in a soul sense. Maybe it's your peace. Maybe it's your joy. Maybe it's your authenticity. They look at you with admiration, almost like they're hoping some of your energy could rub off on them. They might smile. They might stay silent. But their eyes are soft. You awaken something in them they've forgotten. Your presence reminds them of something real, something they've buried. That stare is beautiful. It's not invasive. It's a silent thank you for just being who you are. You'll also encounter the confused stare. People whose logic can't explain your presence. You're not acting flashy. You're not seeking attention. And yet, you're glowing. You're centered. You feel powerful without even speaking. These people try to rationalize you, but they can't. You don't fit in any box they've built. You make no sense, and that makes them stare. You're not what they expect, but you're exactly what they need to witness. That confusion, that's their soul trying to catch up with what their eyes just saw. And yes, there's the attraction stare, the one that carries physical, emotional, or magnetic pull. Let's not pretend you don't get those too. When your energy is high, when your spirit is aligned, you naturally become more attractive. Not because you're trying, but because inner beauty always radiates outward. People pick up on your self-love, your self-awareness, and your spiritual glow. Attraction isn't always romantic. Sometimes people are just magnetized to your authenticity. They stare because they can't believe someone like you actually exists. Don't let that attention distract you. Let it confirm that your frequency is working. And finally, there's the empty stare. Someone looking through you, not at you. You'll know this one because it feels eerie. It's the kind of look where the person seems emotionally absent, but their eyes are locked onto you. Often this is not the person. It's something behind them, a spiritual force, an energy, or even a wandering spirit trying to observe what it doesn't understand. Always trust your intuition with this one. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Cleanse your energy. Say your prayers. Speak protection. Not all attention is harmless, and not all stares come from people. Some come from entities. Chosen one, now you see the deeper meaning behind these glances, these lingering looks, these silent conversations. Stares are never just stares when you're walking in divine light. They are responses. They are signs. They are messages. Some confirm your path. Some reveal the inner world of others. Some are warnings. Some are invitations. But all of them are part of the experience of being chosen. You are a rare presence in this world. Don't be surprised when people can't look away. Let them see. Let them wonder. Let them remember. Because even if they never speak a word to you, the moment their eyes met yours, something in them shifted. And that, chosen one, is how you change the world. Silently. Your energy disturbs spirits. Chosen one, there's something else you need to understand. Something most people won't dare talk about. But it's time you know. Your energy disturbs spirits. And I'm not just talking about people's spirits. I'm talking about the spirits around them. Energies that cling to them. Forces that move through them. Attachments they carry but don't realize. When you show up, when your light enters a space, those spirits get restless. They recognize you and they don't like what you carry. You see, your light isn't just light, It's divine fire. It purifies, it reveals, it disrupts. You don't even have to open your mouth for things to start shaking. People might get uncomfortable around you, not knowing why. They may act cold, dismissive, irritated, or even obsessed. But what they're reacting to isn't just you. They're reacting to what's within them being stirred up by your presence. There are people walking around every day with spiritual attachments, energies that feed on fear, trauma, addiction, confusion, lust, and bitterness. These forces go unnoticed by the average eye, but when a chosen one steps into the room, they can't hide anymore. Your energy is a spiritual alarm clock. It wakes up the space. Spirits that were resting peacefully in darkness start to panic because you carry authority. You carry divine backing. You carry the kind of light that exposes. You've probably seen it. You enter a room, and someone who was relaxed suddenly looks uncomfortable. They avoid eye contact. They leave early. They act like something about you is too much. And maybe you questioned yourself. Maybe you wondered, did I do something wrong? No, chosen one. You didn't do anything wrong, you just carry something right. And what's in them can't stand it. This is spiritual warfare on a silent level. No shouting, no drama, just presence. The presence of God within you, the presence of truth, the presence of alignment. You're not fighting with your fists, you're fighting with your frequency. And when your frequency hits a lower vibration, something has to give. Either it rises or it flees. That's why people leave your life unexpectedly. That's why some friends ghost you. That's why even family starts acting strange. It's not personal, it's spiritual. The spirits that have been feeding off those people feel threatened by your growth. Your awakening shines a light on what's been hiding in their shadows. And not only that, your peace is dangerous to demons. Yes, I said it. Peace is power. The world is built on chaos. Spirits that feed off anxiety and drama thrive in unstable environments. But when you show up calm, unbothered, grounded, and in alignment, those entities lose their grip. They can't manipulate the atmosphere like they used to. They can't dominate the space, because now you're there, and your energy doesn't bow. This is why some people are hostile to you for no reason. Why they pick at you, try to provoke you, test your boundaries. They may not know what they're doing, but something in them wants to pull you out of character. Because when you stay in your divine posture, they lose. The spirits they carry lose influence. And they'll do anything, consciously or unconsciously, to get you to come down to their level. But you must not. Hold your posture. Remain in the light. Don't engage the chaos. Don't let their projections pull you into a battle that's beneath you. You were born to operate above it. There are also spirits of confusion that try to attach themselves to the chosen, because if they can't dim your light, they'll try to distract it. You may have noticed this. People coming into your life with beautiful words, powerful emotions, and chaotic energy. It feels magnetic at first. Then everything gets confusing. Your peace disappears. You feel spiritually drained. That's not love. That's not connection. That's a spirit trying to latch onto your light source, trying to keep you busy, confused, and disconnected from your mission. But here's the good news. You're not powerless. You're not defenseless. In fact, you're dangerous to darkness. Every step you take in alignment destroys what the enemy built. Every time you walk in truth, something false dies. Every time you speak life, a lie loses its power. Your energy clears rooms. Your presence purifies spaces. You are a walking deliverance. Sometimes it's not about what you say or do, it's just about being there. People feel calmer around you, not because you said the right words, but because your energy is healing. Some spirits flee, others try to cling. But either way, your presence demands transformation. That's why people either love you deeply or can't stand to be near you. There's rarely an in-between, and that's okay. You weren't sent here to be neutral. You might even feel heavy or drained after being in certain environments. That's spiritual too. When your light enters a place full of heavy energy, it works overtime to stabilize the atmosphere. And if you're not protecting yourself, praying, cleansing, meditating, grounding, you might absorb some of that heaviness. That's why spiritual hygiene is crucial for chosen ones. You must cleanse yourself regularly. Sage. Pray. Speak protection over your energy. Command peace before entering spaces. You don't just walk through the world, you shift it, and that responsibility requires preparation. Let's take a moment here. If any of this resonates with you, if you felt your energy disturb people or spaces and you didn't know why, drop a 999 in the comments. Let the other chosen ones know that you feel this, that you're not crazy, that this is real, because we need each other. This journey can feel lonely, but you're not walking it alone. Not in the physical, and definitely not in the spiritual. The more you rise in your power, the more visible you become in both realms. Spirits take notice. They react. But don't let that scare you. Let it remind you. You carry divine authority. You were born for this. You are not just someone going through life. You are someone who was sent to change it, to clear the path, to shake up systems, to break generational cycles, to awaken the sleepers. Your energy was never meant to sit quietly in the corner. It was made to shift atmospheres. So yes, your energy disturbs spirits. And it should, because the world needs disturbing. The old patterns need shaking, the shadows need exposing, and your light is the match. Keep shining, keep disturbing, and never apologize for being exactly who you were created to be. What to do when this happens? Chosen one, now that you understand why strangers stare at you and how your energy affects both people and spirits, let's talk about what to do when this happens. Because yes, the stares will keep coming. The reactions won't stop. Your energy won't suddenly become invisible. But how you handle it, that's where your power lies. First things first, don't shrink. Never, ever shrink. Don't lower your posture. Don't look away in shame. Don't question your worth. You're not being watched because something is wrong with you. You're being watched because everything is right. You've got to start seeing these moments for what they really are. Confirmation. Confirmation that your light is real. Confirmation that your energy is working. Confirmation that you are not like the rest and were never meant to be. When strangers stare, when people seem triggered, curious, or drawn to you, hold your center. Breathe. Stay calm. Remain grounded. You don't need to respond or explain yourself. Your energy already spoke. Your vibration already did what it was supposed to do. That's why they noticed you in the first place. Just exist, confidently, naturally, divinely. Now here's something important. Don't absorb everything. Some of these stares will come from low vibrations, envy, resentment, judgment. And if you're not protecting your spirit, you might take that energy on and carry it without realizing. That's why you have to stay spiritually protected. Every day, speak protection over yourself. Say it out loud if you have to. I am divinely covered. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. No low energy can enter my field. And mean it. Intention is everything. This isn't superstition, it's spiritual maintenance. Start your mornings by grounding your energy. Speak to the Creator. Give gratitude. Set your vibration for the day. Because when you leave your house, your energy becomes a beacon. And beacons draw attention, some positive, some negative. So don't leave your energy open. Fortify it. Another thing. Learn to observe, not absorb. When someone is staring at you, don't immediately react. Pay attention. Does their stare feel curious or hostile? Do they look inspired or disturbed? Your intuition will always tell you. Sometimes you'll get a chill. Sometimes your stomach will tighten. That's your body warning you, this energy isn't right. Other times you'll feel warmth, calm, maybe even a deep knowing. That's your spirit recognizing a soul connection or a moment of alignment. Learn to feel the difference. Because once you know what you're dealing with, you'll know how to respond or not respond. If someone feels threatening, don't try to engage. Protect yourself. Step away. Say a quiet prayer. Call on your guides. Sometimes all it takes is a glance from you, one firm, grounded look, and the energy will shift. Your power isn't always loud. Sometimes it's in your silence, in your presence, in the fact that you won't be shaken. And if the stares feel admiring, warm, or respectful, receive it. Not with pride, but with peace. Accept that you're being seen for who you are, and let it remind you of your purpose. You're here to inspire, not to hide. You're here to activate people, some by triggering them, others by healing them. Either way, your presence is doing its job. Now let's talk about energetic hygiene. Just like you shower your body, you need to cleanse your spirit. Especially if you've been in a place where people stared at you all day. On the train, at work, in public gatherings. When you get home, take time to reset. You can do this through prayer, meditation, deep breathing, or even a salt bath. Release any energy that doesn't belong to you. Speak it out loud if you need to. I release every energy that is not mine. I return it to where it came from. I reclaim my peace. This is not about fear. It's about responsibility. You are a carrier of light, a vessel of divine presence. That requires intentional maintenance. You don't walk through life the same way others do. Your awareness is sharper, your vibration is higher, and that means your discipline must be stronger. Now, let me tell you something many people won't. You don't owe anyone your energy. Just because someone stares at you, just because they want something from you energetically, doesn't mean you have to give it. You don't have to smile at everyone. You don't have to engage every curious soul. Sometimes it's okay to walk away, to say nothing, to preserve your peace. Being chosen doesn't mean being available to everyone. It means being available to the mission. Be wise about your energy. It's sacred. And lastly, always walk with intention. Whether you're going to the grocery store or walking into a meeting, carry yourself with quiet authority. You are not just going about your day. You are walking into spaces with divine purpose. You are being watched, not because people are nosy, but because your light is loud. That light will disturb, inspire, or awaken something in others. But what it should never do is make you feel small. So, chosen one, when the stares come, and they will, take a breath. Straighten your posture. Let your spirit lead. You are not here to hide. You are here to shift, to carry something sacred, to remind this world what divine presence looks like in human form. Never forget that. Embracing the responsibility of being seen. Chosen one, it's time we talk about the part most people avoid, the weight of being seen. You've already felt it, haven't you? That constant sense of being observed, watched, studied, sometimes admired, sometimes misunderstood, sometimes envied. The stares, the attention, the eyes on you. It's not just something that happens, it's part of your assignment. And if you're going to keep walking this path of divine purpose, you must learn to embrace the responsibility that comes with being seen. Because this is what many don't understand. Visibility is a spiritual assignment. You weren't sent here to be invisible. You weren't created to blend in. You weren't made to move quietly through life hoping no one notices your greatness. No, You were sent here to be seen, because when others see you, they catch a glimpse of what is possible for them. You are a living mirror, a walking activation, a divine reminder of who they could be if they woke up. But with that comes pressure. It's not always easy to carry that kind of presence. You feel it when you walk into the room. You feel it when you post online. You feel it even when you try to hide, because your spirit refuses to shrink. That weight, that's the burden of being a vessel, a light bearer, a leader. And it's not meant to destroy you, it's meant to prepare you. See, most people want to be seen, but they're not ready for the cost. They want the spotlight, but not the responsibility. You, chosen one, don't get the luxury of hiding in the background. Why? Because the world needs to see you, not for ego, not for fame, but for impact. Your visibility is part of your assignment. Your energy is a message. And every time someone looks at you, something is being transferred. Truth, healing, clarity, conviction. There are people who will never hear a sermon, never read a sacred text, never walk into a temple, but they'll watch you. And through your life, they'll come closer to something holy. That's why it matters how you move. That's why you can't be sloppy with your energy. That's why you have to walk in integrity, even when no one is looking, because someone always is. You've been marked. You've been chosen. And with that comes a level of spiritual visibility that can't be turned off. You can try to hide behind the crowd, try to dim your light, try to live like everyone else, but it won't work. You'll feel the discomfort. You'll feel the disconnect, because your spirit knows that playing small is a lie, and the truth, it won't let you rest. So what do you do with this responsibility? You rise into it. You stop apologizing for your presence. You stop watering down your essence. You stop making yourself digestible for people who were never meant to sit at your table. And you start owning your assignment. You start honoring your visibility. You show up on purpose. You speak with intention. You walk with clarity, because you understand now your life is not your own. You were sent here to wake people up. And listen, I know it's not easy. Being seen means being judged. Being watched means being misunderstood. And sometimes it's painful. You want to be left alone. You want to move through the world without all the energy coming your way. But hear me clearly. You are not being seen for no reason. It's not attention, it's alignment. It's your spirit doing exactly what it was created to do. And the more you try to avoid it, the heavier it will feel. But the moment you embrace it, the easier it becomes. Because here's the secret. When you accept your visibility, it no longer controls you. You're no longer shocked by the attention. You're no longer shaken by the eyes. You understand that this is just part of the call. And instead of resisting it, you learn to use it. You let your light speak when words aren't enough. You let your energy do the work when others can't hear you. You move with so much alignment that people have no choice but to feel the truth you carry. That's what leadership looks like in the spiritual realm. Not loud, not performative, but real. Chosen ones don't seek the stage, but when the light hits them, they don't flinch. They don't cower. They stand taller, because they know the light doesn't come from the outside. It comes from within. So, chosen one, it's time to walk in this fully. It's time to wear your spiritual visibility like a crown, not a burden. Let them stare. Let them wonder. Let them feel whatever they feel. You are not responsible for their reactions. You're responsible for your presence. And as long as you keep walking in your light, you are doing exactly what you were born to do. Being seen isn't about ego. It's about service. Every stare is an opportunity. Every moment of visibility is a divine appointment. So stand tall, speak truth, and walk like someone who knows they are seen by heaven first, and everything else is just catching up. Final message. Chosen. 1. Take a breath. Let everything you've just heard sink into your spirit. This message didn't just come to you, it arrived for you, on time, on purpose. You've been wondering, questioning, second-guessing why people look at you the way they do. And now you know. It was never about the surface. It was never about your looks, your clothes, your actions. It was always about your essence, your energy, your assignment. You are not invisible to this world because you were never meant to be. You carry light, you carry presence, you carry purpose, and that is why people stare. Their spirit recognizes yours. Their shadows feel exposed. Their pain feels threatened. Or their soul feels safe. But either way, you were never created to walk through life unnoticed. You were designed to disrupt, to awaken, to remind the world what truth looks like in human form. So from this moment forward, I need you to stop apologizing for being seen. Stop asking why they watch you. Stop trying to disappear into the crowd. You are the light. You are the example. You are the confirmation that purpose walks in flesh. Let them stare. Let them wonder. Let them feel. Because the moment their eyes meet yours, something inside them shifts. You are triggering awakenings you'll never hear about. You are starting healing you'll never see. And you're planting seeds you may never witness grow. But know this, your light is working. If this message hit your spirit, drop a 444 in the comments right now. Let the others know you've received this. You're not alone. You are part of a divine family, and we walk together. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel, tap that bell so you never miss another message meant for your spirit, and share this with another chosen one who needs it. Someone out there is waiting for this confirmation, and you might be the reason they finally see the light in themselves. Until next time, stay grounded, stay glowing, and never forget who you are. You are chosen. You are seen. You are unstoppable.